As we've seen, tragically, the northern kingdom of Israel is assimilated in exile in Assyria because of her sin, and the southern kingdom of Judah, 150 years later, is assimilated into exile in Babylon. However, God doesn't just remember his covenant requirements of Moses and the people of Israel. God also remembers his covenantal declaration, his promise to Abraham, right back when he says, I will bless those nations that bless you, and I will curse those nations that curse you. And we see actually Assyria and Babylon both come under God's judgment for exiling Israel and Judah respectively. And it's this kind of covenant understanding that Daniel is completely familiar with. He's seen the rise and the fall of the Babylonian Empire. He went in as a teenager. He's now an old man in his 80s in the beginning of the Persian Empire, and he remembers that God promised through Jeremiah that after 70 years of exile, that the land would be restored, the exiles would return. And so in alignment with covenant obligations, with covenant requirements, with covenant practice, he confesses the sin on behalf of the nation. He agrees with God's diagnosis that they have violated his design and worship the gods of the nations around them. And he receives forgiveness on behalf of the nation. God had spoken through Solomon that if you do confess your sins, I will come, I will forgive your sins, and I will heal your land. And we can see that Daniel took up that promise. He took up the promise of Jeremiah and believed and trusted that God would be faithful to his covenant and would restore the people to their land. And we see these promises of restoration in Jeremiah and in Ezekiel. We see deeper restoration, not just of a people to their land, but a people to a fundamentally new heart, a heart of stone to a heart of flesh, a new covenant rather than an old one, where people won't just know about God, but the veil will be torn and they will know God. Biblically, in the Old and New Testaments, knowledge is experience. They will be intimate with God. Jeremiah says, you won't need to be teaching each other anymore, because you will know Yahweh, you will experience him again. Eden will be recovered again. But how will all this happen? How will this fundamental transformation of the human condition take place? Well, we've read about this suffering servant, this anointed one, this Mashiach, whose life will be poured out, who will be numbered among the transgressors, but make atonement for them, in whose wounds peace and healing will flow to the nations. And in fact, through this anointed one, there won't just be a recovery of the human heart, there will be a recovery of the whole of the cosmos. There will be a renewed heavens, a renewed earth. The lion and the lamb will lay down together, and people will once again worship Yahweh, who will be established as the God of heaven and earth, intimate with his people once again. This anointed one, this Mashiach, this Messiah, is the one who the prophets look forward to, and the one whom, as Daniel says, will be a son of man and will come, and everything and everyone will be brought under his feet. All powers, dominions, authorities will acknowledge this one, this anointed one, this Messiah. So they speak of one who will be born of a virgin, who will be a shepherd to a people, who will unite everyone in peace and justice and righteousness. They will speak of one who all authority, powers and dominions will come under. They speak of one who will inaugurate a whole new cosmos, a whole new heaven and earth, where finally the lion will be able to lie down with the lamb.